Hey everybody, this is William from the Godzilla Files, coming at you today with a new book review. And today we're going to be talking about Godzilla, King of the Monsters. So right off the bat, this is a novelization of the movie, and to me this really does capture the action and builds on the characters that we saw in the film. I might even go as far as to say is that the novel is better than the film itself. But I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. I want to get right into it, so let's just jump right into this review. So right off the bat, let me just say, the best thing about this novel is the characters. They did a really great job in kind of building these characters up. And to me, that was the weakest part of the Godzilla film. The novel really does fix a lot of that. We get to spend a lot more time with them, and we get to kind of see their thoughts and really understand them as characters, which is great. You know, the character that benefits the most from this is Jonah, the leader of the terrorist group. He honestly is a lot more interesting in this novel than he was in the film. We get to spend chapters with him and really get to see how his mind works. Whether that's him interacting with his men or with Emma, it's all really interesting. And honestly, it makes me excited to see where his character goes in future films. Another thing that the novel does so well is the handling of Dr. Graham's death. To me, the movie kind of just glosses over this and keeps moving right along, and the death has no impact. In the novel, there is a lot more impact with her death. Everyone is affected in some way, and the best example of this is Dr. Serizawa. He is dealing with her death throughout the whole entire novel, and it's really great to see because it shows that they were close. And honestly, when a character dies, there should be some impact, and I love the fact that the novel made sure of that. Everyone is affected in some way, and it shows you just how important she was to Monarch. One final thing about the characters, the novel does a great job with one of the storylines that I enjoyed in the film, and that's dealing with the family, and in particular, Mark and Emma's relationship. We get a lot more information, and I think it really helps build up their characters. You know, I love finding out why they stopped working on the Orca originally. It was all really well done, and it made sense character-wise. And even Mark's interactions with other characters are better explained because we get to see his thoughts, and that does help. So his character becomes a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. The same thing goes with Emma. She is a much more interesting character in the novel. We get to spend a lot more time with her than we did in the film, and we really do see that her releasing these Titans, or the things that are going on related to the Titans, are affecting her in a negative way. She is having doubts and doesn't think that this is the right path anymore. And when she does finally decide to sacrifice herself, it is definitely earned. You know, it definitely has more of an impact in the novel than it did in the film itself. Alright, so enough about the humans, let's talk about the Titans. And this book does a great job with them as well. I love the fact that we get to visit the outposts before the kaiju destroy them. To me, this is really good in helping us understand Monarch, but also kind of getting a connection with characters that in the end will be destroyed by the Titans that they're trying to keep sedated. And so when they are finally released, there's a much bigger impact, and I think that's the cool thing about these novels. I also think that the outposts themselves are interesting enough to make their own book series out of. I would love to know more about what's going on in Monarch, so maybe that's something in the future that we'll get. The novel also gets a kaiju that was not in the film. It's a giant squid, and that whole entire sequence is really cool. While we've seen a giant squid in the Monsterverse before in Kong Skull Island, this one seems to be a little different, and maybe we'll be getting more of this as time goes on. You know, this could be a kaiju that pops up later on, who knows? But I actually like the fact that they had a little surprise waiting for us in the novel. So as probably everyone knows, King Kong is in this novel, even if it is for a short period of time. It's a pretty cool scene. We get to kind of see him ignore the call from Ghidorah, which brings up a lot of questions that I personally have about whether other Titans can actually ignore the calls of alphas other than Mothra and him, or are they special in some way? Like, where's his place on the food chain? The other interesting thing about this scene is that the skull crawlers do answer the call, so I'm very curious to see about the devastation that they leave on Skull Island, and maybe this is something that will be touched on in future films or novels going forward. Obviously, with all these kaiju, that does mean there's going to be a lot of battle scenes, and this novel does not disappoint. They do a great job in detailing the battles between the Titans, but one of the things that it gets to do is it gets to spend more time in the Washington DC battle, which looked really cool, but we kept cutting in and out of it, and I felt that was a missed opportunity in the film. And the novel does a great job describing just how unprepared we are and outgunned. You know, we don't stand a chance against Rodan and King Ghidorah. It's a great little piece that I think adds a lot to the novel, and hopefully maybe there's some deleted scenes for for the film. And one final thing that I want to touch on is the expansion of the MonsterVerse thanks to this novel. You know, Warner Brothers and Legendary have done such a great job when it comes to building the world of the MonsterVerse. Whether that is through opening or ending credits or just apps and websites, they do such a great job with that. And the novel does the same thing. The fact that it connects with Godzilla Aftershock, I thought was a great thing. You know, it really tries to bring those events and put them in continuity with everything that's going on. And on the flip side, it leaves some ideas on the table to explore later on in maybe future books or films. Okay, so by now, everyone should not be shocked to find that I really liked this book. In some ways, I find it better than the film. It really fixes a lot of the issues that I had with the film originally. And to me, you can't go wrong. If you're a kaiju fan or a Godzilla fan, I strongly recommend picking this book up. It is a quick read, and I think people would really enjoy it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about the novel? Have you had a chance to read it? I want to hear your thoughts. And as always, I hope you did enjoy this video.